their actual software on the browser to go live with, because with OBS Studio, it just didn't work. So I'm going to see if it actually connects to both channels on this one, because Restream sucks right now. Gotta love it. I just killed the other stream because it was just dumb shit. Yep, looks like it's on with YouTube, which is good. And I don't know if it's on with Facebook, so I'm waiting for some Facebook comments. There we go, we're back. So Facebook and YouTube. Apparently, I got to use YouTube Restream Studio, and it sucks because it's browser based, and I really don't want to use it. But I guess it's going to have to be what it's going to have to be going forward. Hopefully, I don't sound too crazy, too loud, or too soft, whatever. But anyway, I was trying to talk about reading comprehension. We were talking about today's show is going to be basically getting instructions sent to you and you not knowing what the fuck they're saying, and blows my mind how some people don't know what the instructions are telling them to do. They're like, well, I don't understand what you're saying. So let's just talk about the Flex and E85 tune. Let's talk about those two guys. The Flex and E85 tune, you first dial it in on pump gas. After you buy an E85, after you buy a Flex and E85 tune upgrade, we need to see data logs on pump gas on every combination. And if you decide to change your cold air in the future, guess what? We need to dial in that combination again on pump gas. We can't just start with Flex. We can't start with the 85 because the pump varies from 55% to 85%. But then we send you instructions, right? We send you instructions. And in the instructions, it answers every question you could think of. And don't you know it? Don't you know it? People still ask the same question over and over and over. So I'm going to show you an example real quick of things that people kind of tend to ask a bunch of different times. What's up, buddy? And it's answered literally right in front of their face. So let me see if I can get the other screen up. This software is totally different. So hopefully it doesn't look totally stupid. There we go. Beautiful. So we got here basically like a Zendesk ticket. This is what I see when I deal with you guys. So right here, let's say after I send you the Flex E85 tune, it says with the Flex fuel tune loaded, the easiest way to switch fuels is to get the tank down close to 0 miles to empty, then fill up with the other fuel. It'll take a good 10 minutes of idle neutral rev holds for the fuel to start mixing and the ethanol percentage to start learning properly. Do not drive it immediately. It may learn incorrectly since the other fuel may remain in the lines. It may lock too soon, and the wrong ethanol percentage on the end gauge can monitor alcohol percentage in the gauge's menu to see when the percentage is moving up. Once it's moving around 30 to 40%, you can probably drive it to get it to learn further and lock in. You can monitor when it locks in by alcohol learn flags, when it goes 0 to 1. And in bold right here, it says, remember, the Flex tune is a transition tune. It may not learn accurately every time. And it's supposed to be used for convenience when switching between 93 and E85 and having the fuels blended. If you're having issues with the Flex tune learning, we just recommend using your non-Flex pump gas tune we first sent, or the E85 only tune explained below. Every single time. Don't you know it? Some of the questions are like this. Alex, it's not learning good on Flex. What should I do? And right there in bold, if you're having issues with the Flex tune learning, we just recommend using your non-Flex pump gas tune we first sent, or use E85. Hey, Alex, I ended up testing it E85, but then when I put it in the car, it only learned E60. And right here it says it may learn incorrectly since the other fuel may remain in the lines and may lock too soon on the wrong ethanol percentage. Hey, Alex, why can't I see ethanol percentage on the E85R tune? Your E85R tune is to be used only with tested E85, no fuel mix. It's not a Flex tune. It will not show ethanol percent or learn anything every single time. And so you know what I do? And it might be dicky, and I might have done it to you guys. I just resend the instructions. I just go, read again, twice, hell, 3 times if you have to read it 3 times to understand what it's telling you. And people go, well, you want to be fucking dick about it. I'm not being a dick about it. You're being a dick about it by not reading properly. And that's where I think reading comprehension has become an issue. I don't think people know what they're reading. Or they don't even bother to read. They just see this big paragraph and they're like, fuck that. I'm just going to ask them what I need to ask them. And I'm like, that's not how it works, dude. You literally need to like read it, you know? Like growing up, the problem I had, like in schools that I went to, because I grew up in a shitty area, is I knew how to read really well. And nowadays, you know, if you talk to like someone in the ghetto or some ghetto people, that's why the friends that are around me like speak like me. I don't talk with no ghetto sounding motherfuckers or nothing like that, because this is what they'll say. Oh, you sound gay. You sound gay. You sound stupid. You sound white. Like that's a dig at me that I sound coherent and American. So when I send instructions, to me, they're clear as fuck. But to some people who probably don't know how to fucking read that well, or just cannot comprehend the words that are right in front of them, they have a lot of trouble. So what I tell people is read it twice if you have to, read it 3 times if you have to. Now, a lot of people don't understand the other thing that I send them is data logging instructions. How do I data log on an Engage? So I go, well, Engage data logging, and I send them an Engage data logging, how to data log on an Engage, right? I send them this thing. And don't you know it? They say the exact same thing. They say the exact same thing. They go, how do you data log on an Engage? Right here. From the start menu, press diagnostics. Now scroll until you find the config file that applies to your vehicle. That's the other thing, guys. Maybe break it up into bullet point. Alfredo Diaz, break it up into bullet points. It's broken up. It's read. Learn how to fucking read. What year is it? How old are people that they don't know how to fucking read? It's not my fault people don't know how to fucking read. I'm not going to dumb down my directions because people are stupid. No offense, but seriously, really? Now we have to make pop-up books for people so that they know what they're looking at? No, fuck that shit. Read. Learn how to read. Get your son to read it. Get someone younger to read it. You don't know how to read? What? Break it up into bullet points. It's broken up into bullet points. Oh my God. Right here. Press data logging. Now scroll till you find the config file that applies to your vehicle. That's the kicker. Sometimes there's 2 config files on an Engage, and people go, well, I picked the 05 to 10 config. I'm like, what year's your vehicle? 2018. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, that's what I say over here. I go, you have an 18 vehicle. Why did you pick a config file that's 05 to 10? He goes, well, why is it in there? I'm like, because there are GT500s, 07 to 09. They pick that config file. Oh, but I thought it would log everything. I'm like, no, your car's an 18. Pick the config file for your fucking vehicle. Now people go, oh, you're so rude. You're such an asshole. No, guys, people that don't get it need this kind of treatment because they almost have to be embarrassed into asking this question. And if they have to go back and read the paragraph 3 or 4 different times, then do that. But reading comprehension is at an all-time low. Like, I remember dealing with certain people growing up, and I could understand that I couldn't talk to them like a normal person. To this day, depending on where I'm at, I have to like remove half my fucking brain to talk to people. And when that starts to happen now, I just don't talk to people. I just ignore people. And people go, oh, he's so stuck up. No, I just know that you're fucking stupid and I don't want to talk to you. Like, especially in person. You see me at the track, people start to talk to me, I just shut down. I'm just like, I don't want to talk to anybody here. Because, you know, the moment they start popping off, like the first thing some guy told me one time goes, you know, I don't like your truck. I wanted to punch him right in the face. But I was nice to him. I was cordial. I was like, oh, yeah, I appreciate you not liking my truck, buddy. Thanks for that. I don't like your face. You know, what the fuck is wrong with people, dude? I'm telling you, it's really difficult sometimes to like keep your composure and want to like deal with people in society. But reading comprehension is at an all-time low. And guys, I really implore you, when someone, any tuner sends you, whether it's me or whoever you're using, sends you instructions, read them 3 or 4 times or 5 times, hell, 6 times. And if you start going, well, these are confusing, but 99% of the customers get it the first time, you're the problem, dude. You just have to like have someone else read it. Case in point, I used to go out with somebody that was taking some classes in college, and I'm reading the words that they're writing, and I get what they want you to do. I understand what they want you to do. This person was fucking lost, and they have a master's degree, bro. Not that I'm smart. I just have better reading comprehension than most. Oh my God. Like, do people read anymore in college and high school? Like, seriously, I'm dead serious. I don't know anybody in school anymore. Unreal. Coyote S197 says, 11 to 14 VMP Loki. Do I need the brass IAT instead of the plastic that came with the kit for tuning? And what's the part number if I can find it local? Thanks. Coyote S197. If you ordered it through VMP, they're the people to ask. And who's tuning it? Because if it's a Roush kit, I would want the plastic lightning sensor. If it's a breakout IAT harness, actually, I don't think it matters. I think you absolutely need the plastic one for Gen 1, the brass one for anything else, 100%. Someone said that they sell insurance, and I can completely relate to Alex. Salvador Cortez, imagine you give someone a contract or some just very generic words on a piece of paper, and they're like, what the fuck does that mean? And I'm like, so what do? Do you have to do you feel embarrassed for the person that you have to talk to them like they're a child? Or do you just go through with it and then communicate what you need to communicate and go from there? Because I do it 60 to 70 times a day, and if 30 of those don't understand the instructions, I'm just absolutely blown away that day. That day, you'll find me in a fucking pissed off mood for sure. People are just really lazy and kind of brain dead, Mr. King. Yeah, I guarantee it. I guarantee it, bro. Sounds like, laugh my ass off, sounds like new LTs in the Army. Don't know what that means. Lieutenants. I read it. It's 2 times it done, says Matt 2011 GT. Like, I'm trying to think of what other directions people just wig the fuck out on. Like, they just don't know how to load a tune. How to load a tune on an Engage. How to load a tune. Beautiful. This is nice. Let's see how this goes. How to load a tune on the Engage. All right. Number 1, unplug the micro USB card from the bottom of the device and plug it into the mini USB adapter that came in the box with the device. Load the mini USB card into your PC or Mac and open up the custom files folder on the card and save the .enc tune from your email and move it onto this folder. Once it's been loaded into the custom files folder, you can exit the window, reinsert the micro SD card back into the Engage. That is so specific. That's so specific. Like, I think Junior wrote these directions, or Nardi, and very specific. And the number 2 method is, this method requires a USB cable. Plug one of the end of the cables onto the Engage and the other into the computer. The device will boot up and you'll get your couldn't connect key is on message. Select X in the bottom left-hand corner and take it to your main screen. Select Diagnostics, USB SD. Now the device will be connected to your computer as removable disk. Open up the removable disk folder into custom files folder and save your ENC tune file from your email desktop into there. There you go. Like, it explains in super ridiculous detail what to do. And don't you know it? People still to this day drag the link over. Like, they drag the link. So now the other issue we have, right? And look, if you're getting a remote tune as a customer, please know how to navigate a computer. Right-clicking, left-clicking, dragging, copy-paste, Control-V, Control-C, like basic 101 how to operate a computer. If you do not have that, get someone that does. Because every single time I send an email with a tune on it, people go, hey, I loaded the tune just like your instructions said, which means he didn't. And it doesn't show up in my custom tunes folder. And I say, so you didn't load it just like now I start to become like a teacher. I go, so you didn't load it like the instructions said. Yes, I did. I go, did you download the tune or did you drag the link into the custom tunes folder? They drag the link into the custom tunes folder. It shows up as an Internet Explorer icon, and they still tried to load the tune. So that tells me they have no computer comprehension, no reading comprehension, and no computer comprehension. And yet they're ordering a tune remotely. And then they say email tunes suck. Then they say email tunes suck. No, you suck. You suck at loading email tunes. You suck at reading. You suck at following directions properly. You don't know how to manipulate a computer properly. It's not the tunes and the tuner's fault. I need a phone number. Okay, dickhead. So when you call, if I happen to call you, you want me to spoon feed you how to operate a computer? Are you insane? Are you nuts? Hey, there's little man making an appearance. Probably gonna shit right there. I guarantee he's gonna shit like right on camera because that's the kind of dude. Look, he doesn't like the race stars. You don't like the race stars, buddy? Boy, you don't like the race stars? All right, well, chew on them. You don't like them. There you go. If you don't like the race stars, you can chew on them, buddy. They are poverty stars. The only issue I had was installing parts. Gotcha. SAT score must be over 1200 to get a tune. That'd be nice. The only you kill me, too accurate. Vincent Crespi, I'm telling you. Oh, he's gonna bite the fucking race stars. Look at this guy. He's like, fuck these things. And look at him go. Boy, he's gonna scratch him up before I even get him on the truck. So it's not my fault that you don't know how to operate a computer. And usually it's the older crowd. Like the older crowd that has an iPhone, has a iPad, and they think they're computer geniuses because they have an iPad and an iPhone. I'm like, no, you need an actual computer that clickety clacks, and you have to have a password to get in it, as opposed to just turning on an iPad, which is just a big stupid iPhone. And well, I don't know how to. Can I do it on my iPad? I'm like, I don't know. Does it have an SD card slot? And if it does, yeah, sure. But then you still have to be able to download files, not drag stuff into it. Oh my God, it's unreal. Probably tastes like pennies, says Jeremiah Camp. Yeah. It's probably copper. I don't know what those race stars are made of. So yeah, that's kind of the biggest issues we have as remote tuners, right? We have to teach you how to operate a computer. We have to spoon feed you information. And then all of a sudden you start saying tunes suck. And unfortunately, because of social media, you have a platform to talk shit, even though you have no idea what the hell you're talking about. You have no idea you have no background, you have no chops, you have nothing, but you have a social media account and you're in a group and all the Lund haters coming. Yeah, they fucking suck. They talk down to you. We don't talk down to you. We tell you to read that shit twice. And then once you read it the second time, hopefully by that time you've gotten it. So yeah, that's my thoughts on reading comprehension. It's just kind of sad out there nowadays, to be honest with you. It's kind of sad. If you cannot comprehend what you are like, how to data log on Engage, and the Engage, there's a thing called YouTube. Oh my God. I YouTube everything. Some people go, Alex, how do you select the gauges on the Engage? YouTube it. Alex, how do you data log on the Engage? I need a visual representation. YouTube. Alex, my SD card says it's write protected. What do I do? Google that. Oh, the lock tab slid down. If you would have done your Google search, you would have been okay. But people just want the information. Little man that wants attention. People just want the information fed to them, like just spoon fed to them. Named him after fuck you, Tony, fuck you, Ezekiel meme. Yes, exactly. If you have an Apple, your technology inept and 50 plus or 10. That's my argument with Apple devices. That's a lot of people go, Alex, why do you hate on Apple? I don't hate on Apple. I think Apple does a great job of making stupid people technology sort of compliant. Let's be honest. If your uncle that's 75 years old can manipulate an iPhone, but he can't turn on a laptop and compose an email like on Outlook, that's an iPhone user. So when you say iPhones are better, I'm like, they're better at making stupid people, technology compliant, basically. Right, buddy? I know. Talking all this shit. I'm talking all this shit. And no, don't get me wrong. Not every iPhone user is stupid. Most really know their shit. But what the iPhone does really well is get people that don't really know technology that well up on technology. What to say here? What are you trying to die? You're gonna die. Awesome dog, dude. I love dogs. I fucking hate people. Same here, bro. This dog's super chill. I like him. What is this? Or Alex, what is this code? Exactly. That's the other thing. When you ask Alex, I got a check engine light. Oh my God, do you know how many emails I've gotten that say, I got a check engine light? And I'm like, what is it? What's the code? I don't know. How do I do that? You go to the read codes screen. And then instead of them going, okay, they read the code at their house, it says crankshaft position variation not learned. They don't Google that. They wait a whole day for me to reply to them to say, yeah, you got to do a crank relearn. Why couldn't you do that at home and simply looked it up and you would have been done. You didn't have to wait for your tuner to tell you to Google something. You know how many times I'm a Google search engine. I'm like 2 layers of search engines. I'm a Google search engine and then I'm an email. So you email me so that I can Google shit for you. Fuck that. Oh my God, unreal. Someone's talking about the puppy. I can't. Is the puppy some kind of to get some booty? No. This keeps me company, man. Keeps me company, gives me structure. Wakes up at 5 a.m. Have a nice little. I'm a schedule guy. I follow a schedule, and he does a real good job. If you remember, I did phone to Engage file transfer video highlight this for Android only. To this day, I'm receiving messages. It's not working with my iPhone, you liar. Madi, exactly. He made videos on his thing that said, hey, this is how to do it. You got to get this cable and you have to have an Android. And people with iPhones are mad at him because it doesn't work on iPhone. I'm like, it ain't his fault you got a fucking iPhone. Google X, exactly. If it was easy, everybody would be doing it. It actually is easy. It actually is easy. The problem is, okay, so when the internet came out, I never want to be one of these guys that is over the hill and doesn't understand what's going on today. There's a guy on Facebook right now, old motherfucker, that's out there just talking shit that who's this YOLO guy? He doesn't know nothing. Why the hell do people listen to him? All he needs to do is go to YouTube and see that I have 400 plus videos, tutorials, dyno, information, cold air intake shootouts, manifold shootouts, dyno videos, track videos. And I'm like, I'm here to give you guys information. But he's on Facebook and he sees maybe 1 or 2 making fun of Camaro videos. All of a sudden he thinks I fucking suck. And then everyone that hates me or hates on me joins that forum and he becomes somebody. Then watch that guy in about a year or 2 go, shit, those videos helped me out. But you know, he won't use that same energy when it comes to like, man, that guy helped me out. That's awesome. Did you see the Cubans win last night? What do you mean Cubans win? What do you mean? I didn't hear anything about a win. I know that they're right now fighting the Cuban regime and they're out in the streets doing shit and they lost their internet. So I haven't heard anything about them winning anything. But Alex, no one watches you. Jesus Perez, you're not wrong. No one does watch me. Bro, if you got a Samsung, you can just pop the SD card in there and don't even have to touch a computer. Exactly. But iPhone users make fun of Samsungs almost as if to shame you, to make you think your phone sucks. And I'm like, I can do a lot more on my Samsung than you can do on your iPhone. I can guarantee that. That's why I have it. I'm not a brand loyalist. I want to do more shit on my phone. And if I can put an SD card in and out and never have to fuck with a computer, that's the way to do it. Everyone's like, the puppy. Man, that shit can't be real on Facebook. It can't be. That guy looks like he's an absolute boomer. Cuban Coyote. No, I didn't see Cuban Coyote win. I thought you meant Cubans, like Cuban. Because, they're in the news now. Dennis, okay, he's got to go. But, I work in logistics. You'd be amazed how many people don't understand how to read a tracking number. They'd rather spam our social media pages instead of doing simple Google search. Yeah. Track my package and tell me where it is. Why don't you just, here's the tracking number and track it yourself? Fuck no, that's way too hard. Where's little man? Make sure I don't step on him. Okay, he's got to go in the cage. He's just being a little too rambunctious. I need to concentrate. Chill out. I can't be doing a show and him fucking around. He's a puppy just fucking around. He's just biting everything and pulling shit down. He pulled the curtains down. I had this light covered up and he pulled it all down. Let's talk about how much of a moron Stang mode is. Why? What happened now? Did he blow his car up again? I hope he didn't blow it up again. Please don't tell me he blew his shit up again. Stop it. But I don't like talking about him because I don't care about him. I don't care about that whole crew. There's a whole crew of those Jersey whatever I don't know what. I don't give a fuck about any of those hoes. Fuck them. Alex, will I see a big difference in the Lund 91 tune over the Vortec 91 tune that comes with the V3 kit? No. Big difference in terms of like more power? Probably not. You'll see an extended RPM, but the problem is the 91 tune, basically it's LU47 injector and you're limited by RPM. You're literally limited by RPM. So you're not going to be able to do more with that injector. So if you want an aftermarket tune, you better get bigger injectors so we can extend the RPM range. Jason Fabric says, I was an iPhone guy until my work gave me a Samsung Galaxy 10, way better phone. Camaro win. I honestly don't even know what the fuck you're saying because Chevy for the win. But your vibe is awesome. Good fucking entertainment right there. You're big fucking fan right there. Thank you, Gary Trevino. Appreciate that. Look, Camaro guy, saying give me some props. Appreciate that very much. Does your dog's cage touch the wall? It does touch the wall. Absolutely. Here we go. Oh, I got to scroll way the fuck down. Replying to, okay. Alex, just finished building my motor and started it up for the first time. Can't wait to get you turbo tune from you soon. Gotcha. Very good. We'll be here. What injectors do you recommend I get? I think you're talking about the Vortec guy. If you're going to get an injector, any boosted car, I would just go right for 1000 cc. I get a D-Truck 95, FIC 1000H, ID 1050X, ID 1000, any of those we can tune, and any of those can set you up for E85 down the road. So just buy the injector ones. Sending it Sunday at Alaska Raceway Park. Nice, Wilson. We'll see what the car does in Alaska. It's a beautiful, beautiful track that you can look at. This mountain. It's fucking gorgeous up there. Daniel Mahano with the comment of the day. I got to highlight this ridiculous comment. Where is it? Where are you? Oh my God, you're gone. You're leaving. No, you're not leaving. I'm going to find you. I'm going to highlight you right here. Are FIC 1050 good? I love you. Don't change. FIC 1000Hs are good. FIC 1440s are good. FIC 1650s are good on E85 only, not on pump gas. The FIC 1650s, too big for pump gas. They chilling, doing Ford shit. Got it. Hey, Alex, have you seen JH Diesel channel? Yes, I have. I've commented on it. The guy does great work. The guy's doing the Lord's work. I still think PRI and SEMA's trash and they're not worth shit. So we're going to have to do shit on our own. I think there was like phone calls and meetings and shit, and they're just out there circle jerking each other, and they better get the fuck with it because it seems like the only way the EPA is going to get off our ass is if you lobby, and that means money. That means greasing somebody to tell them to fuck off. That's the only way. It definitely done. In 2 words, your thoughts on BBK throttle bodies for Coyotes. Mine sucks. Yeah, that's pretty much every BBK throttle body on the planet. Not recommended. Let's just say that. Loving this new 5 p.m. chat. Thank you, Edgardo Velasquez. Appreciate that. Look, again, I'm just trying to get the algorithm up. I'm trying to get you guys daily content because I have the time right after work from 5 to 6 to give you something about what happened today. And today was a reading comprehension day. It was very tough to deal with today. It was very tough. What up, Beto, says Mr. Parra. Just tuning in, just got off of work. That's why the show is at 5 o'clock. So we get off of work, we got something to talk about. Any dyno videos coming soon? Yes. So I just received some exhaust parts, and I'm going to bring the red car to the dyno, and I'm going to see how froggy I want to get. I'm going to bring the red car to the dyno. I'm going to keep the bias plies on it because I really don't want to start swapping tires, but I know that's going to open me up for people saying that now the dyno's not accurate because you have slicks on it. I don't care at this point. I don't want to keep swapping tires. So what I'm going to do is air up the tires, bring them up to like 30 something PSI. And I'm going to, it's got dumps right now, right? It's got headers and dumps. So I'm going to dyno headers and dumps. Then I'm going to install a full exhaust and see how much power I lose. Same, no tune changes because it doesn't require tune changes. So again, I'm going to go from dumps to a full Ford Racing exhaust with an X pipe. I know it's going to sound terrible, but whatever. And then we'll see if there's any horsepower loss. That'll at least tell me I'm wasting my time with dumps, because if it's free flowing enough, it shouldn't be an issue. Or if it's only like a 3 or 4 horsepower loss, I'll keep the exhaust in it because driving around with dumps is ridiculous right now. Yeet just got off the drilling rig in New Mexico. Squatted truck for the win. Mr. Unknown said, what's the max RPM on that Vortec V3 tune compared to the Lund 91 tune? God damn it. He does. If you're on the Vortec tune if you're on the Vortec tune with LU47s, you're limited to 6,800 RPM. If you're on a Lund tune with LU47s, we're going to limit you to 6,800 RPMs. get 1,000cc injector, and then we can bring it up to like 75, 7,700 or so. What boost controller should I buy if I buy a fluid turbo kit? Looking to make about 18 PSI, twin 62, 66 as well. The ones we like the most are AMS 2000, but they're too expensive probably for you. So you can go a boost leash or a e-boost. That's what Aldo uses on most of his kits. It's just a little involved when it comes to setting it up, but a dummy like me on YouTube can look up the e-boost settings and get it. So can you. Listening comprehension. Listening comprehension. That's the other thing. I have said so many things and regurgitated it over and over and over, and people still say, Alex said this. And I said, no, I didn't. Go back and listen, bro. Man, Terrence Wells in the house said, what's up, man? What's up, brother? How you doing? He literally just answered that. I literally went through a fucking 3 minutes answering injector questions, and he goes, well, what's the difference between RPM doing between Vortex and you? Get the GFB boost controller. I never heard of GFB. No. Alex, you want to talk kickback to the EPA? Here we go. Let's talk wild horse, talking some shit here. He says, Alex, you want to talk some kickback to the kickback to the EPA? The EPA miles per charge vary wildly from real world results. The EPA claims 100 more highway miles than any Tesla owners has reported. That's interesting. I don't know that for a fact, but it's been interesting thing to look into for sure. Coyote S197 says, being 2 by you, so the plastic IET is okay for 11 DC with a breakout harness? I believe so. Look, it depends on how you wire, but I'm pretty sure the transfer function, you need the plastic lightning sensor that comes with the kit. Yes. Alex, if you're ever interested in wrapping one of your vehicles, I got you for the free 5.0 FUPA. What the hell am I going to wrap? What, the Fairmont? What am I going to wrap? I appreciate it. What am I going to wrap? And what's the wrap going to look like? Unless the wrap is like an Elka for the truck, all I want is the back tailgate with the most ridiculous mural. I'll take you up on that. If you can make the tailgate mural ridiculous with Elka, the Virgin Mary, women with tits out in a river riding a horse, I will put that on the back of my truck. Absolutely. Hey, Michael Zavala Taylor says, hey, I'm a ghost watcher here. Let me highlight it so I can see it bigger. I'm a ghost watcher here, and I have a swap car that I don't have 100% pedal position. Only 85%. Is there a difference in throttle blade angle versus? Oh, look, he said. Okay, thank God. So yes. You guys know what a 90-degree angle is, right? Right? You guys know what a 90-degree angle is, right? So this is a throttle body. So if the throttle blade is 85 degrees, that's what? That's wide open throttle. If the throttle blade is 85 degrees, because a 90 is, but if the throttle blade is 85 degrees, it's wide open throttle. If it's 100 degrees, you want 100 degrees? Alex, I want my throttle to be 100. No, that's 100 degrees, sir. No, I don't care that it's degrees. I want it at 100. Okay, so when you floor, it's going to go, and it's going to shut again. Hey, it doesn't feel that good at 100 degrees. Can you back it down to 84? Yes, sir. It's throttle angle, not pedal. I love those questions, by the way. They're great. Make sure it's 180 degrees. Big power. I'm gonna make it so when you floor it, it just oscillates like a motherfucker. Just goes. Well, actually, how come you can't go all the way, Alex? Well, you see this mechanism in the back? It has a thing called a stop. Yeah, it stops. It stops. See, it stops. Oh, shit. I want my throttle at 360 degrees. Love the puppy and the extra info in the videos on ATVS. Thank you, sir. Dakota dialed in my nitro setup today. Couldn't be more excited. Lund for the win. Yeah, he was back. He was doing some traveling, doing some home stuff. Congrats to him. Everything's pretty much all set. So is Junior. So Junior's going to be out until about Tuesday or so, and then you're gonna, hear everything from him. There's gonna be an announcement. It's gonna be a whole bunch of shit. So it's gonna be a good time. It's gonna be a good time. 360-degree spinning throttle. Like, a lot of people look at the data logs. I had a guy look at the data logs today, and he goes, I saw a little bit of knock. And I'm like, the knock happened at 1,500 RPM, 6th gear, and you went wide open throttle. And I'm like, what? He goes, yeah, I went wide open throttle in 6th gear at 1,500 RPM. And I'm like, why? And then he says, why not? And I'm like, that's a good comeback. Because you're in 6th gear. Why don't you downshift? It was a manual, by the way. And he's like, I don't want to have to downshift when I pass a car. I want to just floor it in 6 at 2,000 RPMs. I'm like, so you'll have 0.2 degrees of knock. Congratulations. I don't want that. What the fuck you want me to do, bro? Jeremiah Kemp says to have a windmill tune if you take the stop out. Very good. Corey Moore says, what's up? Jesse Westover, do I need a retune after I get my throttle body stop delete? Yes, guys. So make sure that if you want more power out of your car, you go to a machine shop and you have them mill that stop. See that stop? Have them mill it back a little more. Like, have them cut into it. Have them cut into it a little deeper here, and you'll get more power. More power. Oh, some idiot right now is in his garage going, how can I make more power with this motherfucker? And he has no idea what the fuck he's looking at. How can I make it so that I can put a cable here without a tune, and then whatever my foot does, this does? I'm like, you have no idea how electronic throttle bodies work, do you? I think people think that the throttle body works like this, right? So that when you give it gas, it's like a linear thing where it goes, people go, oh, it's this. No, your foot goes like this in the pedal. The car goes math, torque tables, spark, math pounds a minute, math. Okay, here's this much throttle angle. That's how drive-by-wire works. It's not like this. It's not how it works. It's just not how it works. It goes math, then here's 15 degrees of throttle angle. Someone will do this, says Carter's Gaming. I just deleted my throttle body and wide open all the time, baby. Just put your IAT sensor and your TPS. There is no TPS sensor. So yeah. You know how some people diagnose cars too? So we had a couple of guys that diagnosed math issues like this. I ran the car without a cold air intake and it started. It's a tune issue. Excuse me, sir, what? Yep, I took the cold air off and the car started. So it's a tune issue. The MAF sensor is not hooked up to anything? Nope. So you think it's a tune issue because it starts without the cold air, but it doesn't start when the cold air is hooked up. Yep. Send me a picture of your cold air. And in the tune order, it says JLT 123, and it's a stock cold air. And I'm like, yeah, totally a tune issue. Actually, that's a customer issue. Yeah, Matt 211 GT. You think I'm kidding? How can I make that up? People remove parts from cars and say it's a tune issue because I removed parts from the car, so it's a tune issue. Tune issue. Had a guy today say, hey, a tuner came into the shop and said that the issue is crank fuel. Throw more crank fuel at it. I'm like, really? Does this tuner tune Mustangs? Nope. I'm like, then do me a favor and tell him to shut the fuck up. You know what ended up being? A Battle 2 sensor. Because he never got me a log. And I'm like, give me a log. Come back. One fucking O2 sensor is trimming 30% fuel in. And I'm like, but your tuner friend that does LSs says it's crank fuel. Just stop it. Stop it with that. Any updates with 2021 5.0 F-150 tuning? Napkin of truth. We told you months ago. If you want to go fast, you do not. If you want to get tuned and go fast, you do not get a 2021 F-150. We already told you that shit. Already told that. That computer is locked down. Go tune with him then, says Anskai. That's what I said. Go tune with him. I'll refund your money because I haven't seen a log yet. Fuck it. Get the shit out of my face with that bullshit. Nothing pisses me off more when tuning buddies say, yeah, it's a tune issue. And then I'm like, no, it's usually a customer issue. It's usually a parts discrepancy issue. Shout out to Paramount Speed. This is why. Paramount Speed had a set of injectors, I'm not going to name the company, in their car. I used that company's data because that's how you do it. You don't hack your way around shit. It didn't want to run right. It was trimming lean. I'm like, hey, Michael Ayers, great guy. Do you guys have any other injectors from that company? Because these are not ones we tune often, and we're using their data, and I tried to hack my way around it, and it still wasn't trimming right. Do you have any other injector from this company laying around? He goes, actually, I do. I go, do me a big solid, shove them in there. Here's the base file for that injector and see how it goes. Wouldn't you know it, started right up, trimming within 3 or 4%. We did 3 watt pulls. He was out of there. Shout out to Paramount Speed. Why? They listened to their tuner. The end goal for all tuners is this. Get the car to the customer, delivered the best tune possible. If I have to hack my way around a injector that isn't jiving, that customer is not going to get a good quality product, in my opinion. So they, thank goodness, smoke checked it, checked for leaks, checked the injector O-rings. They did all of the vetting. And I said, all right, it's got to be the injector. Do you have another set of injectors around? They go, we do. I go, do me a favor, put them in. Here's a tune. They did. We were done in 3 pulls. Car made like 670 or high 660s. Pump gas, bitch boost, Whipple, done. Out of there. Customers happy. Customers driving it. Shout out to them for doing the vetting, listening, cooperating, being great on the ticket system. Couldn't ask for a better experience with a shop. That's how you do it. Any reason why the new Ford computers are locked down harder than the previous, or is it just new shit? Ryan Rodriguez, the government does not want you to manipulate the car's computer. So they mandate people like Ford to lock their shit down so that people like us can't manipulate the car's computer. Hey, Alex, I know I ask you a lot of questions. Oh, do you? Let me highlight it. Oh, come on. Highlight it. Hurry up. About GT350s. If you remember me, I don't remember anybody, dude. Love you. But I'm curious why you said not to add any suspension mods to the 350. A bump steer kit wouldn't hurt, right? You know, the GT350 is probably the most insanely badass road race ready car that ever came out of Ford. Ever. The parts on that car, your talent as a driver will never overcome those parts. No offense. If Randy Probst, a professional race car driver, gets in that car and goes, this thing is fucking badass, why do you want to change anything from that car? Why do you want a bump steer kit? What's wrong with that car that you think it needs a bump steer kit when professional race car drivers are in love with that car? What are you going to take the Magna right off and put coilovers on it? Oh, I want a set of BMR springs on it. Oh, so you really want to ruin that fucking car. Like anyone that takes GT350 parts off of a GT350 and put aftermarket shit on it, you better be a Billy badass road race driver. You better be so advanced. You better be such a badass to justify switching that shit around. Because if you're not, you're fucking embarrassing, bro. Embarrassing. Because he lowered it. Why the fuck did you lower a GT350? Because it's my car. Nah, it's not. It's not. Sell that shit. If you lowered a GT350, sell that shit. That car's not for you. That car's not for you. You did it because you wanted IG fame. You want it to be slam static. Love you. Fucking sell that car. Canelo. Where's Canelo? Where's Canelo? Where's Canelo? Hey, Canelo, I have a GT350. I want to put some BMR springs on it.
Hey, get the fuck out of here because I'm gonna fuck you out right now, motherfucker.
That play? I don't even know what that fucking played. Yeah, let me see. Yeti Nano. I didn't hear it. Did Canelo say something? I want to hear Canelo.
Hey, get the fuck out of here because I'm gonna fuck you out right now, motherfucker.
So back to the chat. This thing is super slow. So I'm not going to do that again. It did. Thank you. It's so slow on this end, like ridiculously slow. Studio Stream is sharing your screen. Stop sharing. Yeah, there we go. Stop. Maybe that's slowing me down. Chupapi says, Alex, dealership punched out both my cats on my 13T due to one being clogged. What I need to tune to avoid my issues right out till I can find a replacement. We can't touch your car. If the dealer manipulated your emissions equipment, you should hit up the dealer. Probably lowered himself into the strut. Got it. GT250 is getting hard parked. Unreal. Yeah, you're playing the actual video. Good. 350 is better than an STI. Got it. I'm using a JLT tube and adding a P51 intake part. Do I need a revision? Why the fuck are you doing that? So you're putting a smaller cold air intake on a car? That's fucking smart. Yeah, that's scientifically a good way of going about it. Yep. A smaller than stock intake tube on a car makes more power. Got it. Understood. Got it, buddy. Ray say, what's up, Alejandro? The guy talking about changing the 350 suspension is the same kind of guy to port his stock intake tube. Why would you put a bump steer kit on the GT350? Guys, that car needs nothing. Like, look, a performance package Mustang with a good set of wheels and tires, sticky rubber, is better than 80% of the skill that people can put to that car. Some people can't put enough skill to that car to make it do what it does properly. Unreal. Velocity says Clip Hop the Horse for the P51 intake. New Ford Lightning, eat my ass amazing at the Chicago Auto Show. That truck gets it. Exactly. People don't think so, but it'll be the fastest truck ever. 4 seconds and 0 to 60. That's quick, bro. GT250s need better drivers. I went to a track event at a Palm Beach International Raceway. Hold on for a second. I put way too much ice in this bitch. You like that, Daddy? Ooh, that's cold. So I go to this hooked on driving or whatever the fuck it is. There's video of it with me and Frank's car where I spun out, but I learned and didn't spin out again. 3 GT350s go out. I'm saying they were ceramic coated. They got the armor all on the shit. Old man, retired looking, having ass with a fucking Shelby helmet, Shelby shit, Shelby everything. White and blue stripes. Goes out 1 lap. Comes in the whole bottom. What do you call the part that? The part on the belly pan was fucked. It looked like he jumped the fucking curb. I laughed so hard. Oh, there's a great way of ruining $80,000. And I guarantee that old man went home and goes, man, that thing needs better tires. Man, that thing needs better forward grip. That thing needs better bite. It needs a better driver. We're playing John Ryan. John Ryan inbox me. Got it. Okay. Bump steer kits unless you lower the vehicle too low. Got it. Yeah, true that, says Ryan Rodriguez. My brother has a PP Mustang, put stock PP replacement parts on it. It can't beat them. My white Mustang only has an iBox Pro kit. That's it. I put end links. I put this and that. I took them right off. I'm like, fuck these things. Not only did the car drive like shit, it made noise because the Heim joints were loose. I put all the stock shit back in it. What a great driving car. My favorite car. Now people starting to comparing load from data log to decide which tuner is better. Yeah, Mod D50. People will take load from a P51 intake and see that it's a higher number than a JLT intake and go, well, yeah, it's making more power. No, it's not. It's seeing more velocity because it's restricted. So the MAF sensor goes, air load seems to be high because it's velocity related, dickhead. Oh, but it's not making more power? Absolutely not. That car was like, I'm going to fuck you up, motherfucker. John Basker says, hey, Alex, does your neighbor ever complain about the yelling you do, whatever? Sometimes someone's stupid. No, fuck no. Again, there's a meth house, meth lab over here. There's a dog fighting ring, a cock fighting ring. Someone's chopping up coke. Look, this is a trap house. And I know that. And it's still it's way over $1,500 a month to live here. So, that's par for the course. It's all good. I don't care. If they yell at me, I'm like, oh, you don't hear me talking shit when your dogs are dying upstairs? You don't hear me talking shit when I smell weed bleeding through that motherfucker? His neighbors are too high to care. Exactly, 100%. Do you offer tunes for V6s? I do not. Frank Plutzner? What a name. Some of the Mustangs from the last 10 years or some of the years you're referring for drag racing, say adding a blower to a turbo or go mid-8. Wait, some of them, so of the Mustangs from the last 10 years, are some years that you prefer for drag racing? Say adding a blower or turbo and go mid-8s? It'd be a Gen 2, John Ryan. It'd be a Gen 2. Gen 2 to me is still King Daddy. Has a 6R80, has a great motor, stout, consistent. The 6R80 has insanely plentiful parts out there on the aftermarket to make it live well above 1,200 horse without like a whole season. Not like 5 passes, like a whole fucking season of racing with the 6R80 with the parts that are out there. G-Force has rear ends, and I don't think they make drive shafts anymore. So, I think Gen 2 is King Daddy in my opinion because the motor's stout. You can go 8s with boost, E85, and minimal stuff done to the car. That voice is extra squeaky today. What voice is extra squeaky today? My voice? Legit question. Carter's Gaming. What's Carter's Gaming? 650 wheel horsepower stock axles with the drag strip bias ply tires. Will they hold up? Yes. Carter's Gaming, yes, but the diff might not. The differential might not. Prove it. We want to see a chicken fight in the live stream. Here we go. Alex from Facebook asks, have you ever wondered how many fans you have from other platforms? Just curious. Absolutely love watching you talking shit about all the dumb motherfuckers in this industry as a whole, coming from a BMW E9X platform. Oh, I see what you mean. Camaro guys like my stuff. Some CTSV guys like my stuff, and some Corvette guys like my stuff, from what I can tell. But mostly Mustang guys like my shit. Trap House for sure feeds dogs poverty stars. He's eating the poverty stars. Alex, let's see the pup. Tony, have you taught him to retrieve your drinks from the fridge? No, he's fucking 3 months old. He's tiny. If you could have any boat besides a midnight, what would you get? Line of lads. If I could have any boat besides a midnight, there's these super badass fishing boats at like $1 million. Let me just Google expensive fishing boat images, and a saltwater ocean HCB console. Maybe a console and top 10 center console fishing boats. It looks like a midnight. These look just like a fucking midnight. So honestly, none. I'll be honest with you, none. The only holy shit, look at this. My God. Honestly, they all look like Midnight Expresses to me. I wouldn't get anything but a Midnight Express because I don't really care about boats that much. G-Force Renegades on axles, never worry about them again. Yeah, there you go. Kayak, someone says. Alex, 2020 FBO, bro. GTPP1, MT82, 409s, shit. E85, suspension, minor weight reduction. What's a good ET goal to aim for? I'm new to the track, and what's my personal best on first track day was 1222. A Cobra Jet Gen 3 guy manual went 1090s like 2 years ago. Launched it to the moon, stock clutch, dumped it, cut like a 155, and rode gears to go 1090. So there's been 10-second manual Gen 3s. You should probably live in the 1150, 1140 range with some bias plies, but expect to break some stuff because you have to launch pretty aggressively to get a good 60 foot, and that's where the money is when it comes to the track stuff, the 60 foot, 100%. You can fish in a flat bottom drag body. Got it. Why does the 10-speed F-150 skip gears? What is wrong with people, man? Why does it skip gears? There's 10 gears. So at low pedal position, you want it to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's going to go boo, 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 boo. It's not comfortable. So on a stock tune, it'll skip. It'll go 1, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. For smoothness, at low throttle position, at high throttle position, like 50% and up, it'll hit every gear. Alex, you go back to the Corral days? Do I go back to the Corral days? What do you mean, like Corral.net, Stangnet, Corral.net, and SVT Performance? Yeah, that was. Remember, you used to do that every day. You'd get up and you go to Corral.net, see what's new, see what's for sale. Then you'd go to Stangnet. Then you'd go to SVTperformance.com. The last one was SVTperformance.com because the snobby douchebags that were there. Oh my God, everyone thinks they fucking know shit, and none of them knew shit. Like, I didn't know shit, but at least I knew I didn't know shit. But the guys on SVTperformance.com would swear that they knew shit, and they didn't know a goddamn thing. Knowing what I know now, reading what I read back then, they don't know a goddamn fucking thing. But they acted like they did. They sure acted like they did. Finally caught an early live, says Jovic. Well, you got 407 people on. That's nice to see. Can't forget Mustang World and Yellow Bullet. Never went to Yellow Bullet. One of the guys that I work with, that's all he fucking did. He nonstop went to Yellow Bullet, and whatever they said on Yellow Bullet, he regurgitated as if it was his original thought. Rollout is more important than tire width. Really? Really? And he dared argue with me that a 19 by 10 inch tire was better, that you can go sevens on a 19 by 10 inch tire in a S197 Mustang. I'm like, why don't you do it then if you're such a badass? He goes, rollout is more important than tire width. I'm like, really? I don't see a lot of 28 inch tires running sevens on Mustangs. Maybe on donks, yes, but not on Mustangs. To this day, you could tell that he regurgitated everything he saw on Yellow Bullet. It was so stupid. Christian is late to the chat, and he says, it's because Americans don't follow instructions very well. I mean, who reads a manual? I do. We go directly to the pictures. I read the manual. Maybe you should send picture instructions. Did all of you guys know that every Mustang since 2011 has a second key that you can set up as a valet key? Again, did you guys know? Since, hell, probably before that, but I owned a 2011 Mustang, and I read the manual, and it says you can use your valet key and give that to the valet. You can limit RPM, radio volume. You can limit mile per hour on the highway. You can do it all through the dash. Do you know how many times we get requests for valet tunes? Alex, I'm going to bring my car into the auto body shop, so can I get a valet tune? I'm like, a valet tune? Yeah, I don't want them doing burnouts and dumb shit. I'm like, just set up your second key with the my key function and set up your valet key. You could do that? Like, yeah, there's a big book in your glove compartment called the, I don't remember, the owner's manual. And you set it up that way. Dude, unbelievable. Justin Brown, I was thinking the same thing. Just put a 506. Already got it. Shout out to Heavy Duty for the oil field workers. I can't do a heavy duty because I'm using Restream. Oh, wait a minute. I think I do. I think I have the video of Heavy Duty of Calito Bregante walking through the streets. Heavy Duty for the oil field workers.
Oh, yeah. Heavy Duty. Heavy Duty.
What's the other one I have here?
It's over, Johnny. It's over.
Nothing is over. Nothing! You just don't turn it off.
You just don't turn it off. You just don't turn it off. Heavy Duty. Oh, man. Don't have the manual or the second key. Well, sucks for you. Hardcore GT500 Performance is that way on Facebook. Hardcore anything. Anything named hardcore usually attracts the bigger, dumber motherfuckers. Alex, okay, a guy named I Swallow Cum says, Alex, I got a 19 GT with a built 10R80 looking to do suspension stuff now. Planning on Viking Crusaders with BMR drag springs. That's a big fucking no. That's a big fucking hell no. That's a big fucking hell no. Thoughts? Anything else you'd recommend? Yeah, anything but BMR garbage. Plain and simple. You get yourself a Stop the Hop kit, go to Steeda, open up the catalog and say, give me your drag shit. Give me all your drag shit. And then use some Viking stuff and you should be good to go. I wouldn't recommend any BMR products if they were the last suspension company on the planet. No, thank you. Thoughts on McLeod RXT clutch? The RXT for GT500s is stout. The RXT for MT82s, probably not a good idea. It tends to explode the gears. Oh my God. Jay Rubin says hardcore 50 GT500 is just a bunch of arguments about what carbon fiber canards they need to buy and what spray wax is best. Well, that's probably most McLaren forums too. I feel like most stupid people, says Will W156, are just inherently lazy ass learners. The right information is so accessible, but some never commit to the time to learn. They'd rather port stock throttle bodies. Boy, ain't you right on that shit. Jesus, you're so fucking right on that shit, dude. Will Lund be tuning for California clients? Sorry, haven't been able to check for any updates because of the new stupid ECU law. 50 Souza, I haven't heard anything, but I would wait until junior and senior get everything situated. There's a bunch of stuff going on right now at the Lund Racing HQ. So I would stay tuned for next week once we get everything settled and everyone's good and we're all back at 100% capacity. We'll make an announcement on the California situation 100%. Hey, Alex, Gen 2 Coyote, which blower do you go with? Edelbrock TVS 2650 or Whipple 3.0? Honestly, those two are fine. Either, honestly. I like the TVS power delivery better than the Whipple. The Whipple's, in my opinion, doesn't have as much down low as a TVS, but you can make big power with both. It's all about how you want it to look under the hood at that point. Hey, Alex, should I do a Coyote swap on a 2002 Harley F-150 or just modify the Supercharger 5.4 in it? Honestly, on those trucks, I wouldn't do a Coyote swap. I would just modify the 5.4 that's in it, in my opinion. It's too much work to Coyote swap it. Can I get it? Oh, yeah. No, you can't because I am using Restream's service because the other one just crapped out. Jay Rubin says, incorrect. McLaren forums are more about sharing pictures of McLaren that have been spontaneously combusting. Really? They're just exploding now? McLarens are just catching on fire? I didn't know that, Jay Rubin. Anyone here run JB a long tube? Just curious on Fitment. JB is fine, dude. It's not. Look, the best are the big three. Cooks, American Racing, Stainless, Ultimate Header. Stainless Works would be somewhere in between like American Racing and Cooks, in my opinion. All great companies. I just prefer Ultimate Header. Someone said, I wish UPR made K members. Look, if you want a K member for an S550, you go to AA K members. Steeda makes K members for S550s, guys. What the fuck's wrong with you? Jeremiah Camp says, I blew my MT82 with an RXT. I switched to an RST. Was great for street, but slipped a little at the track. But you know what? His transmission lived 100%. Can we get a squabble? No. I have four fucking clips on this thing. None of them are the popular ones because apparently OBS did not want to communicate with YouTube. And if I'm going to go live, YouTube is going to be the main priority. That's the one that makes me money. Get an Edelbrock, less wait times. Carter's Gaming. That's true. I pour stock auto bodies with a grinder and a chisel. 100% free breath. 100% free breath for sure. Gotcha. I wish UPR made S550 K members. Gotcha. Just get a Steeda one, dude. I 60-footed better with stock base springs than BMR drag springs. And BMR squeaks like crazy. True story. Wild Horse 5.0. He's not wrong. Grazie, broke third, Dyno for the win. 50 Souls, it says, appreciate the info. My dumbass just bought Cook's headers, hoping I can get a Lund tune so I can make the neighbors love me. Can I get a YDBT tune for my black lug nuts? Oh my God, people trying to be funny here. McLarens break all the time. Worst supercar. No, but the internet says they're the best. So you got to get them. What'd you think about AZ audit? Oh, the Arizona audit was interesting. Unfortunately, the county did not want to work with the auditors because what a Pandora's box that would be to open. What a Pandora's box. If the swing states all had audits and all of them found anomalies, what do? You can't remove Biden out of office. There's no mechanism to remove him out of office. And all the cabinet members that he put in, you can't just put Trump back in. You can't. No, you can't. You just shut the fuck up. You just say, okay, this election sucked, so they'll try to fix it for the next one if they find stuff. But Yeah, there is, guys. If you guys are out there holding out hope that Trump's going to somehow become president again before Joe Biden dies, because I don't think he's going to make it to the 4 years. He's just not going to make it. He's just going to croak. You got something coming, something else coming. The guy's not going to get removed from office. Biden is not going to get removed from office. Again, Biden is not going to get removed from office. Stop thinking that he is. You're looking really stupid right now. GT Garage with his bullshit. Come on, Alex. You refuse to test the P51. You're quicker to say there's no advantage. Look, GT Garage, I love you, and I know you make the P51 intake. What's going to happen to the P51 intake if I test it and it makes less power? Let's fucking clue you in as to my thought process, genius. Let's say I test your intake. Let's say it makes less power because it's smaller than stock. All those people you sold P51s to are going to say Alex's test showed less power. And then if it shows less power, you, GT Garage, are going to say, you're just hating on my shit because I proved with a Draghi and weird dyno numbers that it makes more power. I am not interested in testing anybody's shit. You think you're the first person that made a cold air intake, claimed that it makes more power, and then gets proven wrong? Do you know how many intake manufacturers there are that have done that and have gotten proven wrong? And to this day, they still say their shit's top dog. I don't want to play this game. I've been here before, done it, been proven it. I've proven everything. And if someone gives me a cold air intake with a smaller housing than stock, it's gonna make less power. Plain and simple. Sorry to break it to you, bro. I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but if I put that shit on video, I look like the fucking asshole, and you will get refunds up the ass. So I'm doing you a favor by not testing that shit and letting placebo sell the cold air intake. You're welcome. God damn it, bro. What the fuck is wrong with people, man? They don't get it. They just don't fucking get it. You think you're the only cold air manufacturer out there that thinks his shit's the best? And then when they get proven wrong, they just bitch and moan, and then they say, get tuned by somebody else. That's what every cold air manufacturer that we've proven makes less power than basic shit says the same fucking thing. Get tuned somewhere else. You think I'm fucking stupid? You think I'm fucking stupid? Come on. Come on. Alex, many customers have experienced a huge. Doesn't this sound like something every other cold air manufacturer would say? Huge performance against the advice that I had long ago. Okay, GT Garage. I do not recommend the P51 intake for anybody. If you get it and suffer performance losses, that's on you. I do not recommend it. There. I don't have to do a dyno test because I don't recommend it. How's that? I don't recommend any intake that is smaller than stock. There you go. I don't recommend it. Plain and simple. Have fun with that. Exactly. Everyone's naming the cold air manufacturer that did this already. We've been through this road. We've been down this road 15 times with 5 different cold air manufacturers. Been there, done that. You're just the next one. Clip Clop the Horse, send them one. I don't want a Clip Clop. It won't be on my channel. It won't be anywhere. But Bustelo cold air intakes make great power. Rich 50. I'd rather have a stock box with a K&N than a smaller intake. Yeah, but we don't know what the fuck we're talking about. All the P51 intake buyers punch in the air. No, they're not. They will swear up and down. They'll swear up and down that it makes more power because they spent money on it. I'm like, good for you. If you're a P51 owner and you feel it made more power and you're beating people with JLTs, Stitas, and PMASs, good for you. If you ask me, Alejandro Flores, if I recommend a smaller than stock cold air intake, I'm going to say not just no, but fuck no. Plain and simple. Now, GT Garage, I hope you sell 1 million intakes. I hope you become a millionaire selling your intake. BBK's around, K&N's around, and a bunch of other InGens around. They make money. I want you to make money too. I don't recommend BBK. I don't recommend K&N. I don't recommend InGen. And I don't recommend the P51. How's that? fuck me. Like, I don't want to have to do that, but the motherfucker keeps popping off. So I'm like, there you go. There you go. Bro, I can move more water through a 2-inch pipe rather than a 6-inch because of velocity. People sound really stupid. So Alex, because in recent videos of your truck, you stick dinky little filter at the end and pick up good power, a little chunk of power, basically using the P51 concept. No, I'm getting rid of a box and its speed density. So I don't need a MAF sensor. Your P51 is smaller. It skews load, MAF frequency, and MAF pounds a minute because there's a MAF sensor. An F-150 is speed density. I could put a velocity stack at the end of the throttle body and achieve the same thing. Stop it. You're looking silly right now. Please stop it. You're looking really silly right now. What if they make a smaller throttle body compared to stock? What would people say then? Kevin Alonso, great. I'm going to do that. I'm going to try that. Hell, I'm going to get a smaller, a short runner intake manifold, the 71 millimeter throttle body, and a 20 millimeter cold air and sell it as a power upgrade. That makes sense, right? Just trying to inform you, he has you on this channel, not trying to contradict what you said. He has you on his channel. Okay. I don't know what the hell that means. Small diameter, more air for a blow. Small diameter. Yeah, I mean, look, if he wants to sell that, sell it. Look, like I said, BBK, InGen, and Canon, they all sell stock or smaller than stock cold air intakes, and they're in business. So I hope he stays in business too. I don't recommend them. But if he keeps trying to squabble, I'm like, dude, you're not going to get me. You're not going to convince me. Every single time I have to tune one of those things, it's like 15 revisions. And I'm like, here you go, buddy. Oh, man, unreal, unreal. What's it say here? Nathan Yoder. The big companies spent millions on research and testing. Kind of hard to reinvent the wheel when there's nothing wrong with what's offered. Look, PMAS, Nick, forget his last name, Nick from PMAS, Nick James. He has a flow bench. He has a flow bench, 100%. Flow bench. Do you know what a flow bench is, right? So he can actually give you data as the pressure drop. He can lay it out there so that I can, and then every PMAS cold air intake gets the same tune. Now, do I tell people it makes more power than a JLT? No, I never say that. I say the data is better. So as a tuner, I love the data. But he has a flow bench. When I see someone stick a pipe on the stock tube and say it's better than someone that has a flow bench, I might have a problem with that. Jay Rubin says, I fear the rumors are true about the dual throttle bodies on the next performance variant of the Coyote. CAI manufacturers are just going to be licking their lips. If that's true, Jay Rubin, could you imagine people doubling their sales on cold air intakes? Because remember, guys, I told you months ago, the new Coyote might have 2 throttle bodies and 2 cold air intakes for efficiency. The throttle body is only 80 millimeter. Alex, explain. Okay, so exactly, why would you restrict the throttle body? You sound really stupid right now. You sound really stupid right now. So if the throttle body is only 80 millimeters, a smaller tube is going to cause more performance? Look, get me a flow bench. Get you a flow bench. It's very expensive. Flow benches are expensive. Flow your intake versus a PMAS. And there's your answer. It's simple. Wild Horse. Nick James is goated, knowledgeable as hell. Nick James will argue this in science. He's actually done it. He's actually taken competitor cold air intakes and grafted them against his. And there was a big to-do about his cold air intake versus a big competitor, and another tuner, not Lund Racing, proved that PMAS has made more. So now we can just go, we had nothing. We're not biased. We're just here. We're data-driven. So if the data, we like Injector Dynamics injectors because the data is so repeatable on all of their injectors. Can you make the same power on an ID1000 that you can on a D-Torque 95? Yes. Can you make the same power on an FIC 1000 than an ID1000? Yes. Do we prefer injector dynamics because they have better data than most? Yes. Do we support D-Torques and FIC? Yes. Why do people think that we have to pick a fucking side? But you keep saying that your shit's better, your shit's better, your shit's better. I'm like, then explain to me how a smaller tube can flow more air than a PMAS. And then he goes, draggy, dyno, 80 millimeter throttle body. That's what I mean. Like, I can't even, I hate Mustang guys. I fucking hate Mustang guys, bro. Joseph Scala is telling him that, and Paul Yaw is an absolute genius and a perfectionist. I'm not going to suck his dick that much. I judge people by the company they keep. You know what I'm saying? Mike Wolverton says, I have never bought a new car before, so I stepped in it big time. What do you say? I stepped in it big time and ordered the handling pack 10R80 Mach 1 Pro Charger for my 6. Oh my God, why'd you do that? We'll catch the rest later today. Have a good night, everyone. I'm gonna get out of here. It's been an hour and 15 minutes, and GT Garage is all mad that I don't recommend his fucking intake. Look, guys, if you want to fucking run his intake, have at it. I'll tune it, but I'm not gonna recommend it. I'm not gonna put it on the dyno. I don't care. I literally do not care. We tune all intakes as long as they're repeatable. But if I get an intake that I have to have 17 different math curves for because you changed version 1, version 2, version 3, version 4, I'm probably not going to recommend that intake. I've sent you so much proof. What, a dyno? I could skew dyno data too, GT Garage. What, a draggy? Really? Really? Okay, so send me even better proof. A flow bench. Flow data. GT Garage, send your intake to Nick James and see if he'll flow it up against a PMAS. And if it outflows a PMAS, I'll recommend your intake amongst all the other intakes I recommend. But until it outflows a PMAS, I really don't care what your dyno and draggy hits do. No offense. See, now you're making an enemy. And I don't know why. It's not smart for you. Like, it's not smart for you to make an enemy when you're trying to sell parts. And I have access to the biggest Ford market on the planet. And they agree with me. So don't make an enemy. Just say, okay, you know what? Alex doesn't recommend it, but I think it works. And just sell it. I don't care. But now you're fighting and you're going to make an enemy. And I'm going to say, fuck this, fuck that, fuck this, scorched earth. And I don't want you to lose sales. So you're doing a really bad job of marketing your cold air intake, your pipe at the end of a stock tube. Be smart. Let this die. Keep selling your intake. When customers ask me about it, I'm going to say, I don't recommend it. But if they buy it anyway, I'll tune it. That's that. We'll leave it there, guys. I'm going to get the fuck out of here because he's just going to piss me off. And I don't do things well when I'm pissed off. You know, I want him to make money. I want him to be successful, but he keeps chipping away at it. And eventually, you know, shit goes down. All right, I'm out of here. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this week's shows. I'm going to get back after it. Sunday will be the Peasant Chat regular time. And then I'm going to go ahead and get back on the daily shows starting Monday. And hopefully this can maintain a decent viewership so that your ride home is a little quicker. All right, guys, have a great weekend. We'll see the peasants on Sunday. See you guys later.